Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow YouTubers. Welcome to another edition of Airy Sky Readley's video blog. I'm Krabby McCoffee. Now, you guys are wondering what's going on. Well, my internet has been down, so the company supplied me a wireless 5G device for uploads and downloads as long as I don't use it for, but not limited to, videos. So I'm trying, they told me, even though, they're trying to get a router, I'm stuck with a wireless for a while. So school is now in session. I am Krabby McCoffee. If you're new to the channel, hit the like, subscribe, thumbs up button. If you're a comer backer, welcome. So please excuse my hair. It looks like crap this morning. I just got up from a short nap. It's about 8 in the morning. So I'm here to run the live show with you because there's people out there who have messaged me saying what's going on, where's our videos. Internet's been down. So last night, after I got up from my nap, tell you a story, I asked Chloe, did the internet company provide us a wireless router temporarily? And she says, yes, it's in my room. I said, you're not doing it with movies, are you? She says, no. I said, you're not using YouTube music? She said, no. She said, I was doing a few Google searches and stuff. I said, well, bring it on here. She says, you can have it. So I told my internet company I have to get a video made as a prepper. This is something that I want to tell you guys. Last night, Higgins messaged me via text. I called him a liar because he was still up at the time. And I told him to check his email, which was payment was made for his services on the project we're working on. So this morning, we will try to do this video as fast as possible. So then Higgins, of course, could, whatever. So Higgins got paid. All right. I gave him 50. Chloe gave him $25 gift card. That goes towards his goal of the SDS 200, which Higgins really does want. I'm trying to score one myself, not that it matters. Higgins is always complaining about, but not limited to, batteries. That's right. As a prepper, he's worried about long-term things on batteries. He's been doing a lot of research on batteries. Well, he's been also thinking about spending money for a radio like this. Fortunately, these, we're trying to figure out what's our next purchase going to be. Well, I made out some working spreadsheets for CB radios. I'm going to go ahead and get two of each handheld model that's on the list, starting with the Unitons and then working my way up to Cobra. If any of those do not work with the extended antennas, then we know that it's the terrain that's the problem, which means every radio will be, for prepping purposes, will be a problem. Now, I can buy a $30 4-pack, which, by the way, I did look up what Higgins was talking about. I actually wrote it down in my journal and did that. Chloe wanted blankets and pot holders, so they were ordered. She's earning her hard drive. There's only one other item she's going to be needing this month. Two, which is she wants a journal, which the journals for prepping is something I highly recommend, so she can literally write down her feelings and thoughts, which frankly, a journal would come in handy for many, many issues, including but not limited to prepping. And maybe it will also help her with reflection. Yeah. So for some of you out there, we got about 60% of the apartment clean. We got to clean the table, the 2 rooms, and then done. And Chloe's doing a great job. She was throwing a fit the other day about her hard drive, and I went ahead and said, listen here, you little poop bird. We literally got it ordered. So anyways, I'm going to check my comments, see if we have anything. A couple people messaged me and my family talking about I have family that keeps me in the loop, and that comment was something or other. Family keeps an eye on things. Teldor, hope everything is well. Well, Teldor, my internet's been down, but I have a good long story for you guys this morning, as well as prepping. So I put my orders in for my preps for this week. I'm trying to get Chloe to start doing things. I have a question that people have been emailing me on. It's been a kind of an interesting question. I'll get to it in a minute. Teldor says, "Where the hell have you been, you poop birds? And make sure you have plenty of beer and whiskey." Actually, funny story is I got 5 cans left. Chloe was out last night getting me my toilet paper, and she decided to get me some beer, but she forgot the coffee. I'll tell you, Chloe ordered this meal, right? Well, she didn't order this meal so much as she bought a takeout meal, right? It was called a whatchamacallit. It was called a takeout meal, right? And it was all right, sorry about that. Takeout, Stouffer's, right? Had microwave instructions. Yeah, so you gotta look at it carefully. So I told Chloe, just throw it in the oven for an hour. It'll be done. She got it out in an hour. It was done. Last night I had a leftover sandwich. I actually had like 3 beers in me, and I was falling asleep. Me and Chloe were watching some DVDs that we had on the shelf. Pretty cheesy movies. I don't know how my husband can deal with it. My father-in-law would have loved the movies. They were kind of horror movies. Nuclear fallout, alien type things come, and they're in a basement, and in the end, one guy, the entire thing is going insane or whatever. I mean, literally, I was looking at my husband had a lot of Fallout movies. I didn't know he was really interested in that stuff, but so anywho, so this morning, for you preppers out there, you need to get your preps in order because we're going to talk about food stamps this morning for a bit. Food stamps are literally out. All right. People have been emailing me. I checked my email last night while I was tipsy. Higgins is like, oh, yeah, the weather is going to be cold. Whatever. Snow. Apparently, it's supposed to get like 12 inches. Way to go, Higgs, old boy. So the Wi-Fi I'm using today, they said I could use it to upload. It shouldn't be no trouble. They usually give a limit on the capacity, but I have no limit because they just took out my money and they're trying to scramble by Monday or Tuesday to get me a router. So in the meantime, you guys are wondering about the bed. I still have my current bed. Well, big story short, she emailed me. I never replied to her because, well, last night when the router was delivered, it was already closing time, and I was napping after a full belly of not beer. No, beer was later. It was a Philly cheesesteak sandwich and a salad. And I'm telling you, the salad was the bomb. Did a semi-fridge cleaning, so we got more to do. Got some stuff to rotate out preps-wise. We are going to do things. Chloe wants to earn a box of candies. So I said, okay. And if she needs anything more, I could probably cover it as long as she's willing to keep this place clean daily. She can't just freeload, and she has no rights to attack. So, you guys are wondering what happened to the bed, right? In the update, besides the internet being down. So she emails me saying she'll have to take it back, But then Chloe delivers her yesterday. I made a deal, no ifs, ands, or buts, chocolates. I bought a huge box of chocolates. Keep my word. As a woman, I always keep my word. So, and I got some other chocolates coming in for her and a crew. So the director's happy. Her email was kind of, but, I'm still testing positive. So usually the virus lasts 7 to 14 days. So I'm on day number 8. Got me another home testing kit. So you guys need to know, but it's okay. So anyways, I'm here to give you guys a update without having some problems. Families probably be happy. I know families like sitting there going, "Why offline videos?" Well, I made some offline videos I was gonna upload, but this morning I figured coffee time with Rita needs to be done. It's Saturday. And I figure you guys are ready for some stuff. Did you guys ever see the new Basics Preppers list? That's right. I set up a Basics Preppers list for you. You guys can find it in my About Me page. I think it's pretty cool. So, anyways, I got some spreadsheets to do today. I'm going to try to limit my spreadsheets. To what I need to do, but I'm here to tell you guys that I really am happy to be part of the team to get things moving. Now, a lot of you have been complaining, where's Rita? Where's Rita? How come Rita's not around? Where's Rita? Where's Rita? How come Rita's not around? And finally, I got around to getting off my rump. I was just going to leave it alone, but, people are, good old Hig Bobs. He's always, people are missing you. I didn't know you guys cared. Higgins being paid, that was the main thing. I did get the electric bill paid last night. That was $134. Not bad for a 2-bedroom. I think I was paying about $120 for my old 1-bedroom in Quincy. So, cost of inflation, but here, it's fine, And then Chloe's like, "Oh, are you going to be gaming today?" And I said, "Well, if I get my work done, I will be gaming today." But that is during her food bank run. I will be thinking about, depending on if I'm napping or not, 5 spreadsheets minimum, probably 4 to 5. But right now, I want to tell you guys I am here. Place some more orders. There's a lot to talk about today, so I want to get into prepping today. That's what you guys came here for, right? It's prepping. And you're probably worried about me for some of you. Yeah, so I want to thank you all. And, so anywho, let's just do this real quick. I went through my email last night before napping. I'm worried about Mama Pee-wee. Yep. Anyway, she's probably just busy doing her thingy, but I'm wearing her shirt this morning. Okay, here we go. So, a lot of people have asked me, what is going on in the prepping world. Higgins briefed me on a few things. I caught up in the last few days of the Russian prepping news. Let me tell you, that was pretty crappy in my opinion. Way crappy, I mean, literally very crappy, and that's because of the news isn't that good. You got like all these right-wing media saying, Russia's gonna take over Ukraine, and then you got the Republicans saying, oh, we're gonna shut down and not pay Ukraine. Well, I'm not gonna give misinformation here because I don't want my video flagged or whatever. But let me just tell you, because school is still in session, that, in my opinion, it's a bunch of crap. Yeah. It's a bunch of garbage. Why is it a bunch of garbage? I'll tell you why it's a bunch of garbage. Because when you look around and you see $400 million going out, $2 billion going out, $10 billion going out, and yet, I did hear Higgins gave me a news article. It was interesting. I was laughing my ass off. It was about Zoe. Not Zoe in particular, but Zoe lives in apparently Chicago. Apparently, the people of Chicago kicked out Lori Lightfoot, or I think it's called Lauren or Lori Lightfoot. Yeah, the mayor's been kicked. I guess the crime's too high, and they're protect it. They're doing stuff, so maybe a Republican will take over. However, Republican governor in Illinois is going to be different. And you hear all these things. I read news articles last night off and on about the trans community. It's like, oh, the governor signed this bill. Wish Higgins would have told me that. I would have argued with him like, yeah, good for them. First cup of coffee of the day. Delicious. Yeah. So one of the things I prepped this morning is I went online and ordered some more coffee. Can't trust Chloe to order it. Just joking. Now that Chloe knows her hard drive's coming, she's working a little faster, so I can't complain. I guess the joke is on me for the experiment. You see, told her she would get paid afterwards, so she was delaying things and trashing things, throwing a fit. So I figured, look, when it's in my hand, I'll give it to you when this place is clean. Now that she knows it's coming, she has no choice but to get it done. Besides that, she chose a small hard drive for her. Now, one of the prepping tools I'm using is next month is Easter. Now, as you all know, this is the month of prepping on other things. If you have cash, by the way, as you guys can see, you guys can't see. I followed Mama Pee-wee's advice, and I had the Bun cage cleaned. Yeah. So Bun is a lot happier. Oh, my God. Last night, right? Chloe's like, put him on the floor. So I put him on the floor. All of a sudden, zips Moppy. Chloe grabs him. He came this close to eating his head. So what did we do? We punished Moppy. Because Chloe's like, he should get to learn, right? So Moppy went into his little box, his little travel box. It's big enough. And Ebo got to walk around for a while until Ebo had his exercise. Because usually I try to keep him out at times while the bunny cage is cleaned and stuff. But anyways, for you preppers out there, let me just hold on a second. There we go. For some of you preps out there, I am going to wear this morning, okay? That's what I do. I drink coffee. I hate people, and I know things. This was complimentaries of Mama Pee-wee, so love you, Mama Pee-wee, dearly. Hopefully you're okay. Mama Fanny has not messaged me at all, so I'm kind of concerned. I thought by now. So some of you preppers out there wondering, what are we going to do about prepping? Well, for a prepper in general, you need to worry about supplies. Now, I'm going to show you a couple things that's going to be very interesting today, okay? Now, we have an advanced prepping list on Amazon, and then we have a basics preppers list. Now, the basics prepper list is a lot smaller, okay? It's easier to manage, but I'm working on a simple preppers list. This is the bare bone program, okay? You got the advanced program, or if you want to pay $20,000, you buy everything in the advance or whatever you think you need that you don't have, and you cull through the list, which could take about an hour if you're getting lolly farting. I'm an old man. Or an old lady. I'm an old lady. So, okay. So, anyways, poke, as Higgins would say. He's always poking the bear, The other day, he was poking the duck, I think it was. He's like, where's the duck? Quack, quack, quack. Actually, he knows where the duck is. We had it falling out. So, anyways, until the duck realizes that she's got borderline tendencies like Chloe, and she snapped at me, I'm not putting up with it. That's the thing. Anywho, I've kept my word with my advocate. Now, I know my advocate is pissed off about these, but you know what? I just found out I can pay $90. Chloe's going to be going out first to get the bearings of the glass thing. And then, But anyways, let me just go ahead and fire up. We're going to go through 200% this morning. Hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second, peeps. Usually I don't do this early in the morning, but 1 second. you. Okay, sorry about that, my friends and extended family. So I left for a second because Chloe wants to go to the food bank this morning. One of the discussions while we're talking about the prepping list, the basic prepping list, is food stamps. Food stamps have been cut off for 95% of Americans under the pandemic relief. I don't know about Higgins State, he hasn't told me, but most states have cut that off. So this is where I come in this morning and I tell you all about how some of you people have emailed me. I went through some of the email and they were like, "Hey Rita, are you okay? You didn't die. Hey Rita, what's with the food stamps?" Well, that's where I come in this morning and say, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy Easter, Happy St. Patrick's Day. No food stamps for you. Okay. Someone emailed me, do I ever brush my teeth? Yeah, I do every morning. Of course, I got a hole in one. Waiting for the thing. They won't take me this month, so I got to wait till April. Well. Anyways, so, we're not going to go into details, Higgins and I, we have everything good. So, let's just get to it, shall we? So, let me tell you, each item in the preppers list is just suggestions. You don't have to do it, but I'm going to share with you over my morning coffee the basic, this is what I call the basic plan of the preppers list. Hey, where the hell's, oh, here it is. Yeah. Okay. Basic preppers list. Okay. Let me see. Yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you. So, first we got matches. Everyone needs a box of matches. The next is the blanket. Now the blanket was $24.99 on sale. It is now $37. However, I will tell you the new blankets I got that are king size. Chloe wanted a set for herself. We got her a pair, black. Mine is green and baby blue. Now, there's something just sometimes about baby blue, okay, for prepping purposes. So then you have the Coleman stoves, right? As you can see, they're expensive. You can go to Coleman.com directly and buy directly from them, and you can get it faster than waiting, all right? So you can see how this one's sold out. So next up is a lantern. Now, these lanterns are good for etc. By the way, the camping tent, they can't get any more in. Apparently, China is basically... Here's what's going on, okay? For what I understand now, China is getting very desperate, okay? They either got to work with Russia, supposedly, no misinformation here, or they're going to have to work with the suppliers for stuff. So if you look at that tent, it's Chinese made, right? It says, we don't know when or if this item will come back in stock. See? Cool, right? Now, so scroll down. Then you got this, right? This one's Chinese made. They have plenty in stock, 120. These are what I call your 3-season bug out homes. This went from $70, by the way, as a prepper, to $143 for a backpack. Think about it. This is your bug out bag, okay? Now, the Swiss Champ, I think that's the Champ, right? Went $52 to $67. So thinking about inflation, yeah. And anyways, let's continue, shall we? So the Swiss Champs right here, right? This is $39. These two items are $30. The what do you call it? The angler and the fisherman. I have the fisherman. I just ordered another fisherman and angler set. One's got scissors, the other's got pliers. Those are the only difference. Everything else is pretty much the same. So, and the corkscrew's been replaced with a screwdriver and a few other things. So, next is your 2-person sleeping bag. Now, a lot of people say to me, what is a sleeping bag? Well, if you don't have enough warmth, you can use a 2-person sleeping bag with the pillows to keep yourself warm. Me, of course, I've experimented. I will explain to you as a prepper another way to stay warm without needing to buy a double bagged sleeping bag, okay? And that is, you really need to spend some money, and I'll show you that in a bit, of blankets. I'll actually show you the blankets when I'm done with the preppers list here, okay? As you know, powdered milk, $24. That went up from $12.99 to $24, so it's double price. Preppers everywhere. So your suddenly salad, I make up some of that. That's good. Your ramen used to be $7 a case. Okay, actually it was $6 a case. I'm down to my last case of piquant chicken. So you could see if I wanted to replace it from $6, I'm almost paying $17. Okay. The Annie Am's mac and cheese was actually $12 a case. Now it is $17. So you got to use your mathematics. This here used to be $4 a case, went up $2.50 more. So your mac and cheese is good. However, a lot of people say to me, what do you do if you don't have any way of cooking your food? You're not allowed in a nuclear situation. Spam. There you go. See? 12 cases, $42. Stockpile spam. Or it's generic. You can get the generic for half the price. The Armor Meats. You can see the review there. It costed me half the price. These are not bad, but these aren't good. The only reason I added these is if you need protein. Another thing that I highly recommend for protein is cashews or nuts. Unfortunately, as a prepper, you got to ask yourself what's more important, $11 a jar for 24 ounces of cashews or a case of Spam. Yeah. So think of it. This is sold out. This is sold out. See, cashews are being sold out. People are really prepping now and worried. So they're literally. The other thing is the government, I want to tell you, is doing. This is my own opinion. It's not misinformation. This is just my opinion. Is if you look at some of the prices, $24, $17 for. I like pistachios too. Another thing is you see this $34 for 25-pound bag. Now I just put that back into the list because I have my own private shopping list I have for supplies, so I leave this on this list. But I did just buy, which will coming because if you notice, we're talking about pet food. I'm as a prepper. Proof's in the pudding, everyone. $14.95 for 5-pound bag. See, might be 4-pound bag. 5-pound bag. So $14.95 or $34 for 25-pound bag. See where I'm going? The next item I highly recommend is the coats. Fortunately, they're sold out, so you're hopefully you get some more in. They're made from another country. 99-cent mac and cheese, good deal. Here next is your tea. Your tea went up from $12 a box to $22, so almost $23. And they say there's no inflation. Next is your white rice. I have boxes and buckets of this stuff, okay? The white rice and the brown rice, okay? Now, this is your emergency preparation stuff, okay? Now, you guys could sit there and say, what are you going to do with it? Well, it's got a lifetime expectancy of 25 years shelf life, okay? And with Ziploc bags, you're fine. Seals there, they're easy to stack up. The problem is I was paying $22 a bucket. First one, $58, almost $59. And the second one's $41. Why? Because rice is imported from Southeast Asia, usually. Remember I told you stockpile oats? I have oats, okay? Oats is $52 a thing. Now, some of the oats, you can go to the store and buy the 3 or 4 pound cans like this for like $4. So think of it, you can get more oats from the store if you know what you're looking for than buying buckets of oats for this price. I mean, this is a 10-pound pail of oats, whereas my rice is 24-pound pails. So think about it. Next is your treat luncheon. Now there's 2 versions of this. There's Armor Star treat. See that $25? You can literally buy 2 cases of treats for the price of one case of Spam. You get 24 cans. That's 24 days of protein. Now a lot of people say, well, will you eat that? Yeah. You don't want to eat beans every day. Saw a movie about that. Now, you know, the problem is they say treat is only supposed to be used for frying. I haven't experienced it or experimented with it, but I will be picking up a few cans of Spam this week to review for you guys. Jalapeno, turkey, whatever else today. Loyal to it. I might have Spam tonight. with mac and cheese. Okay. Next up is coffee. Now I just ordered some more coffee. Now I buy Seattle's Best or the Henry's Blend or the what's that coffee? Starbucks Morning Joe. All right. Or, then you have your waters. I prefer Fuji water, but this is just water is water. Choose your own. Baked beans. Now, if you're looking at this, beans have gone up. It used to be 99 cents a can. So 12 cans, $12. That's $16. Think of it. This went from $1.49 a can or something to whatever higher. So Bush's beans. So all beans are beans, okay? But the inflation's there on beans, all right? So we're not going to just sit here and talk about beans all day. I'm going to speed this up for you. But if you look at it as a prepping point of view, the beans are expensive, okay? Again, beanie weenies. A lot of people say, oh, I love those beanie weenies. Have you noticed it's a 7.7 ounce can, so it's not even half a pound, and it's $44 for 24. So you're paying $44. Now I know moderator Chris, General Erudite, likes his Dinty-Moore, so it was his suggestion on Dinty-Moore stew. So I can't, but if you look at this, right, 24 cans, or sorry, 20 ounce, so that's like a pound and a quarter of stew, 8-pack, $24. Think about it. Next is your Brownie paper towels. Now, a lot of preppers are stockpiling paper towels. You can use it as a trading tool. You can do it for other things. But the point is, the simple preppers list, as you can see, we're not even doing it. Maybe next week I'll do a full preppers list on the advanced list for you. But I'm toying with the idea in a month or so, doing a simple list for you on a fixed income. Why am I giving you a simpler list too? I'll tell you. Because, toilet paper is a must. All right, TP, right there. Got to wipe your bunghole, right? Now, a lot of you preppers out there have emailed me and time again, and you've had the question of why are we prepping? Why are we buying preps? Well, I'll give you a couple of reasons. One is inflation. True. As, I tried to tell former moderator Zoe, if moderators, she's been forgiven, by the way. I'm just, I'm not putting up someone who snaps at me for the most utterless disgust over the whatever. It's not my problem, okay? But anyways, there is not going to be any organic foods. Yeah, she's like, oh, I'm not going to eat processed. Okay, well, you can go and find yourself a nice hole to crawl into. Crawl in the hole. We used to make jokes about the hole. But anyways, never mind about that. She did have a sense of humor, I'll tell you that much. Loved her sense of humor. Anyway, so being a woman, who I am, I'm not going to go into detail, but we were arguing about deception, and I don't deceive anyone. This is what you get, okay? So if you don't like it, well, you don't have to join my channel. Plain and simple. She got mad about not knowing that my roommate who's being removed from the lease was a partner. It was like 8 months after my husband died. I took her in because of being homeless. Thought I'd get her surgeries, and let's just say I didn't know anything about borderline, bipolar, autistic people. Yeah, so we won't go there. Okay. Next up is your ramens. As you can see, this one is $1.36 for a case, but that is just chicken, just plain old chicken. The next one is roast chicken, which is double the price. You see where the price gap is? Yeah. First aid kit. This is the first aid kit. It has 200 large piece set. Comes with everything you need. It's $130. Highly recommend it. We keep first aid kits. We restock first aid kit once every 2 months. Always nicking yourself. So we always keep double. I buy double the first aid kits. First aid kits. Next is your naproxen. Your naproxen's $11. Okay, that's not bad for 300 count. Your next one is your ibuprofen. If you notice, the ibuprofen's $13. I paid $9.99 for 500 pills. Okay, the next is razors. A lot of people ask me about the razors. If you look at the razors are getting harder to get a hold of. This is 6+ premium disposable 3-pack 9 razors. So you get 3 razors, $28. These used to be $4.99 a piece. All right, so think of the inflation. They're getting harder to get a hold of. I mean, Chloe took a picture on my cell phone of the pharmacy. There's no razors, basically. They're saying shaving gel. You can't even get regular razors. Chloe had me order razors and shaving gel. Look at the shaving gel. Shaving gel, 12-pack, $30. I'm paying $4.99, by the way. $4.99 for some dry skin satin care. See, it's my brand. Oh, actually, not $4.99. Sorry. Correct me, it was $4.99. It is $4.29. This is one of two types they have for women. Men, sold out. I think there's another can somewhere. They got me two different cans. Yeah, this. Again, $4.29. See? Satin care. See? So, I got like 8-9 cans stored away, but I always grab some anyways. But you're going to have to look at the pricing on the bottles, for example. Think of this. And then you're going to have to ask yourself, are you going to buy in the bulk online, or are you going to pay one single can? This will last pretty good price, all right? Then you have other issues, okay? For example, dish soap. Always get dish soap. I was paying $3.99 for a tub like that. Now it's $17 for a pack of 2 tubs. Think about it. Dove. I was paying $9.99 for 14 bars. It's almost $16, double the price. So we're talking about. Next is you have a body wash. 4 things of body wash was $12. Now it's $28. Think about it. Your Irish Spring, right? 12 hours, 24 packs, $16. It used to be $11. Think of it. Cost of inflation, yeah. And I'll get to the inflation story in a bit, okay? Dove Damaged Moisture Shampoo and Conditioner, $18. Okay, can't even get the cucumber, right? That's my favorite. But this is the basic stuff that you need for surviving. And one of the things people ask me in preps is, what do you do? Well, let me put it this way. If you don't prep now, you won't be able to prep later, and you will go hungry or basically pass on because you didn't prep properly. Plus the fact that what if a nuclear explosion happens and you can't get to your grocery store? Next is your Rayovacs. Okay, these are $21. Let me just share with you this. Okay, I just bought 3 more cases recently. Okay, so far I have used 6. So, in an entire month after getting plugs and stuff from our scanners, I've used probably 4 to 6. See, and I have restocked more of these. So that tells you right there what you need to know. There's about 6 batteries missing. 6. There. See. 6 for an entire month at that price. I also restocked on AAA batteries because AAA batteries take this, which I'm looking into working on a project with Higgins soon when it comes to, but not limited to. Let me check the camera real quick. Amazon basic batteries again is 48. It's not bad. Half of them are duds. Let me see if I can fix this. There we go. So you got your batteries, right? So as a prepper, you need to stockpile batteries, all right? Batteries is essential for prepping, right? So then you have other stuff, your seasoning. Now, a lot of people want poultry seasoning, iodized table salt, etc. Let me just tell you, this is a basic kit. You don't need it because if you don't have a roast to cook during a power outage or a nuclear fallout, the seasoning ain't going to do a damn bit of good. I want to tell you that right now. Now, if you don't have now, I'm going to basically be blunt with you. Okay? I'm going to tell you as I go, okay? Certain items on this list is in case, but not limited to, no power outages or nuclear thing. Think of maple syrup. What are you going to buy maple syrup for? You're going to pour it on your pancakes? Yes. are you going to make pancakes if you don't have hot griddle? No. You going to eat oats raw? You could. How are you going to cook your meal if you don't have power? Next up is your sugars. All right, sugars will come in handy for various reasons. Same goes with this, but as an emergency prepper for prepping itself, yeast is good for bread. Duct tape's good too to seal things up. Your sewing kit right down here is, and by the way, the sugar was more money. All right, this went down again. It was like $11.97. So, and then it went up, and then it went down, and so sewing kit is good if you need it. You can't eat it, but it helps keep your clothes in good order. So and it keeps you busy sewing by hand if there is a destruction. Next on the list is Central. Now, Higgins is like, well, you just buy all this. I need vitamin D, so I'll take 20,000 milligrams. Good for you. Me, I don't care, okay? Let me just put it this way. As a prepper, you got to ask yourself, you just need to make sure you have can openers, and most people have can openers. If you don't have a can opener, whatever. So, another item that's a long-term shelf life is tuna. All right, you pull tuna out of oil or water, and you can eat it as is for meals. Tuna is a good staple. Chicken's a good staple too. Food Bank's giving us a lot of that canned chicken right now. It's what you call emergency food that you can eat right out of the can. Now, I'm going to tell you a couple experiments I did recently, okay, to help you guys decide on food in a bit, okay? Again, chicken breast, Vienna sausages, that's good if you get stomach. If peanut butter's in stock, that actually went down in price. It was $12 for 5 pounds. This, I chose one. As you can see, some of the stuff I chose one of. Your survival kit's $40. It comes with everything you need to survive, in a bag. And that's pretty much what it is. Your oils, canola oil, peanut oil, and stuff. You can choose which one. That's, a gallon. So that should keep you busy. But it's only well worth it if you're going to have access to an oven or a frying pan. Now, next is your flour. I wouldn't recommend it unless you're baking and you're baking all the time. Now, I highly recommend it as a prepping if you have access to cooking utensils and stuff, where you can actually use the flour. A lot of people said, well, what's the point in a nuclear situation that could come? What is the main purpose of it? Next is Ziploc bags. Ziploc bags are good. My neighbor, as Zoe once called the Connors, I gave her for her birthday a steak dinner for her for Valentine's Day, Trish and her daughter. And the steak dinner, $20. She thought that was really a great birthday present. She got rid of her religion and she's looking for guidance. And I said, oh, I'll always be there for her, Anyway, so mushroom soup with garlic. This is one of the mushroom soups that is available. Now, you guys could sit there and say, but you need to have milk or water. So if you can't cook it. Now, this soup, I want to tell you, the homestyle chicken noodle or the low sodium, those two ones right here, these two, that one sold out, by the way. You can't eat cold. The other day, I was hungry as hell. Ice Bear was hungry. Ice Bear ate cold soup. Chloe was kind of upset because she made up like fried potatoes, onions, and eggs, and it was like and I was starving, so I ate as an experiment cold soup. And let me tell you, no offense to Chloe, it wasn't bad in a situation where you just pop a can and you eat it as it. However, I did dump out half of the broth due to the fact that it was high in sodium. So 2 cans of noodles and chicken was good enough for me, and probably got a full can of broth just with, once you get out. But once that's why they say add water to your soup. Well, to me, I think it tastes better if you don't add water to it. Yeah, I think the water dissolves, But anyways, next is your deodorant. The next up is a big question that people have been emailing me on. They're like, well, do we need 1 bottle per family, or do we need whatever? Okay, so it goes like this. The government's going to tell you if there's a nuclear radiation in anywhere in the area, and you have a cranked radio to take either 65 or 130 milligrams. 65 milligrams twice a day, or 130 milligrams once a day until the radiation subsides. So if you get 130 milligrams, that's 300 tablets, and you take one tablet a day. That's almost a year's worth. So $45 for a year's worth, or $90 for almost 2 years. And every month that there's no nuclear war, as you can see, expires at 10 of 2032. So that gives you plenty of time. This is 130 milligrams, $9.99. So a lot of things. This is one of the projects I wanted to get on Higgins' butt on. To find out how many tablets you need. That's his job. As a prepper, you guys sit there and say, oh, one guy emailed me and asked me why am I giving Higgins my work? Because basically Higgins gets paid. Yeah. He's $75 closer to his SDS 200 scanner he wants. Or he can get a handheld. Now, of course, we don't like the 100 because of proprietary battery, but we'll get to that. Okay. So this is 280 tablets for $40. For $5 more, you get 300 tablets. Remember? Then people said to me, well, what's this? Toothbrushes are always good stocking stuffers, but it's also good to keep for each family member at least one toothbrush a month. So if you're stuck in your house for 6 months or a year, you want enough food to go by. But I will get to the food thing. Next is pears. A lot of people said, well, what's the point of pears? Pears are good. Now, this item here is only been chosen because of two reasons. The barbecue is used for smoking meats. Now, as you all know, the reason I'm going with don't prep a freezer full of goods is because power goes out. Higgins and I have talked about it. You lose everything in your freezer within 2 days. And if there is a nuclear fallout, you're not going to be able to go outside to cook. So that's why I'm telling you to get canned soups. They can just pop the can and eat, or canned meats. The next idea is a butane stove. Now, these are one burner stoves, $45. You can't complain. It comes with 4 cans of butane. You say, oh, that's a great deal. As an emergency, you got to ask yourself. First of all, you can't carry butane. All right, managers like, no, you can't have butane. No, you can't have Coleman fuel. No, you can't have unleaded. So you got to limit what you're going to use. Okay, that's why in an emergency situation, just pop a can of Spam or canned meat and eat that. Now, if you eat it every night, you're going to be tired of it, but at least you're alive, right? That's why you rotate the flavors out. That's why I have multiple cans of Spam. So the stove is there if you can, but remember, I told you in an earlier video, you seal your hood vents up, your bathroom vent, and you hope like hell you don't need to. Next is your Jackeries. Now these, if you're away from the EMP blast, this will come in handy for many things. You plug it in at home, you can put a solar charge. Now Higgins like, oh, just use your solar thing and do this and do that. Really? First of all, if every country fired their nukes, we'd have nuclear winter. Hypothetically, if we had nuclear winter, you can't just go outside with a nuclear winter because you'll be getting radiation in your skin because you walked outside. Therefore, you can't just set your solar thing up. You're basically better to stay in. LED lantern. I chose one lantern particularly. I have this. I also found a 4-pack of other lanterns. I'll explain that later. 4-pack is like these. Reason I keep extra batteries is to keep this going. These are good. We have like 4-packs of these. I also ordered some more lanterns. The next up I have to order is a shopping cart. We haven't done it yet. That's $117. A lot of people say to me, well, what is the deal with the shopping cart? That is for groceries. So if you don't want to go and prep through Amazon, Walmart, whatever, you can actually buy a shopping cart. This holds 440 pounds. So he's got like 6 of them. I think it's 4. I was going to throw in that hyperinflate it and go 6 or 8 or 10, but no, she's got 4. I don't know why someone needs 4, but to each their own, right? The next is something I highly recommend for you all. Okay, now some of you sit there and you say to me, oh, well, we don't need that. We don't need that. Let me put it this way. That's on a list for me to send one to Trish for her gift for Easter. All right. $80. What do you get with it? You get something that is not the WS1010WA. The 1010WA or the WS1010WA is a Walmart thing, okay? They're sold out. The problem with it is that scanner basically has the built-in buttons to push, but not limited to air, marine, fire, EMS, police, ham. Now, a lot of ham radios might work during the pandemic. However, you got to also ask yourself, it only bases it on batteries. So if you have someone running a repeater, which repeaters require power, the repeaters might not be working because some of the preppers out there that have ham will not be wanting to give their location. And two is, if they are there, we're going to try to work around to find out. No one knows what will happen after the thingy. Those have built-in banks already, the pre-programmed and scanned. So you have Marine Band, which Marine doesn't work that well out here. You have Air Band, which is automated. You have ham, which is dead. You have police, fire, and EMS, which works. You have other things. Okay, now next on the list is this one. This one's already pre-programmable. Okay, you can program it, but it's $115. Why would I recommend the AC125? I'll tell you why. Because this is for handheld mode. Okay, if you're in an analog area, again, as I said plenty of times, you can literally tune into analog only, which means going for a smoke, taking him out first. Take me out too. Yeah, I can go poo.
Go for a smoke, take my bath, and then I'll take him out when my bath's done.
Food bank?
Yeah.
Going to the store too. We're out of coffee.
Yes. Look at him. He's a cute dog. I feel bad at having to punish him, having to block him when we went after Boo. I feel bad.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. Even though you didn't hurt him and he didn't whimper, but you lightly tapped him on the head, that was basically saying no. And for some of you preppers out there, sometimes, you have to lightly punish your dog for going after a bunny sitting on the floor. I mean, he literally was like 4 inches from his damn nose. I mean, Ebo, but you know what? He's been good, Anyways, let's just get this prepping thing done, shall we? The next is a base station scanner. Now, this is something I highly recommend if you don't have a power outage and if you can maintain some power. This can be mounted in your car, or it can be mounted in your car, or mounted in as a base station. Now, excuse me for 1 second. I just want to do something for you preppers out there. Now, when I talk about the 15X scanner, I'm talking about the 15X in general, as the 15X is but not limited. Okay, so currently I will tell you 2 things. All right, there. Oh. There. All right, so let's see. Did I screw this up again? No. Yeah, I did. All right, there we go. So as a scanner person, the 15X I do have sits in the window, maintains myself all the time. So the 15X is a good project purchase. Now, I'm thinking of buying a secondary 15X just for the hell of it, all right? Because the more radios, the more I can do with it, And though it also has a pre-programmed set where you can scan for anything, they hide that feature on the box, but it's there, okay? Now, the next is journals, okay? As I said, Chloe wants a journal. The journals come in handy. You get a 6-pack. You can write for a long time while going through trials and tribulations. So your next prepping tool is bread books. Now, bread books are good if you're going to make bread. Again, we don't need to talk about this. Flour is good if you're going to need flour. Okay, flour is good if you're going to make bread. All right, bread flour. I personally don't recommend it, but that's because what if you don't have the baking thing? This is a survival kit for starting flyers like Flint. That's highly recommended. Mama Pee Wee recommended this. Now, Mama Pee Wee also recommended something like this, a hand crank radio that plugs in. I know Higgins, if he sees this, would be like, ooh, that's pretty good. Yes, It can also charge your phone. So far, I do want to say damn freaking, I'm getting to that point where my damn tablet thing is getting worse and worse on the screen. So basically the next item, the hand crank radio is a must if you're going to. Yeah, so anyways, the next is garbage bags. Now, garbage bags is a must, and this is 110 count. They have 110 to 130. I recommend Glad, and Force Flex is good. Next is chocolate syrup. This is good for ice cream. This is good for coffee. This is good for, I was putting this stuff in my coffee. Excuse me for 1 minute, my friends. As you know, that is the battle cry of a very hungry bun. Yeah. And you keep half your food you keep dumping on your floor. If you start not eating your stuff that you're putting in your food fester floor, we're not going to be able to keep you maintaining it. See? Apparently he'll eat it only if, this is what they call bored. There. See? As you can see, he's very well taken care of, okay? So, here you go. There you go. Everyone loves buns. So he's like, battle hungry. Okay. Next on the list is, we're about 70% done, so it's getting bigger. All right. Next is your Goya beans. Now, as you can see, Goya beans, 24 pounds of beans, 1 pound bags is approximately $60. This is kind of expensive, but again, these are only as an emergency if you have a cooking source. So take that as a grain of salt, okay? Anything when it comes to beans, unless you want to soak your beans for 4 days and then eat it cold, I don't recommend it, all right? These are all beans, $40. Again, pinto beans is one of my favorites. Unfortunately, again, 40-year legacy prepping, 25-year shelf life. Unfortunately, unless you're going to eat beans, canned beans would be preferable. I like my other favorites, navy beans or white beans. I love white beans. But see the price, 25-year shelf life, very expensive. Next is a food measuring thing. Now, this is good is if you don't have, quote, unquote, any, and I repeat this, any, okay, spit cups over there, any meats the way. So, for example, in a nuclear situation, you want all your canned preps in a safe place that you can get to without having any problems, all right? Next up is, Higgins didn't know, 50 pounds of powder, all right? Another thing is you got to ask yourself, what are you going to be limiting on your intake, okay? Now, if you're not going to use milk for coffee, or you're not going to use milk for anything like oatmeal stuff, you don't need the milk, all right? A lot of people say, oh, well, I need my powdered milk for whatever. Think of what happens if you have to use your bottled water to make powdered milk, okay? Say that you need it for your coffee. You can go without. You can drink black coffee. Might taste a little funny to you because you prefer your white coffee, as they call it in Australia, your coffee with milk or cream. But think about it, right? Canned water, 50-year shelf life. There you go, $50 each. Blue can, apparently it's good. Next up is your Crest Complete. Again, that's something I like, so I chose Crest Complete toothpaste for some of you, but I like it with Scope. Yeah, if you didn't know, that's my brand. Next is a weather digital radio with AM, FM, NOAA, shortwave, SOS survival with powered 5-way powered solar hand crank USB charger. Higgins always says headphone jack for outdoor and blah, blah, blah. So what does this mean? It means, that's something you need for an emergency. The next is $210 is a what we call a world band radio. AM, FM, NOAA weather plus alert 2-meter ham band. So it will pick up anything in the between the 33 centimeter, 70 centimeter, or 2-meter ham band, right? This is $90 for a world band. And by the way, these reasons I chose them in particular is for, but not limited to, the batteries. They take AA batteries. So you don't have to worry about cranking it or whatever. That's why, but if you want to hand crank, you might crank for an hour just to get an hour's worth of energy. So depends on how fast you crank too. The handle might break. So that's why I always keep a backup, with the stuff. Now, as you can see, we're getting into the bottom. A lot of people have been wondering about water purification, okay? These ones here will purify water, but just make no mistake. If you buy a Berkeley gravity-fed water filter that can filter up to 6,000 gallons of water before changing the filter, it won't change out the contamination of radiation. You'll still be having radioactivity in your water, so you must test your water, drink bottled water. That's why I said when you're basically in a prepping situation, you don't want to be limited to stockpiling stuff you don't need, like milk, because what if you don't need the milk? Okay, the next is, and I think this is the bottom of the list, is the Dakota MERS. Okay, Higgins and I were talking about the MERS radios. Now, we don't know the length of the MERS. This is something Chloe and I have agreed to purchase next month for testing, or the month after. Problem is the length. Okay, how long will it last, what's it going to do, etc., etc. We don't know. All right. So far as I can see, let's just close this. I want to share with you two things. So that's why I'm going to do that now. All right. I'm going to share with you two items. Okay. All right. So for all right, let me just get this set up for you because we're almost done. All right. A lot of you have been asking me about, but not limited to, what to do about being warm in a prepping situation for being toasty. Besides wool blankets. Okay, I'll tell you what I do. All right, I've done the experiment. All right, this is what I do for you guys, so you don't have to do it. So, one of the items that I purchased, and I will show you. So, you guys sit there and say, "Oh, do you have one, Rita? Do you have one?" Is this, all right? The Utopia Bed 27 fleece, okay? Fleece. Static, fuzzy, anti-static, okay? Anti-fuzzy fleece, all right? So under my hold on a sec, peeps. Under my wool blanket, okay, I'm going to show you this. This is my wool blanket, okay? Whoops. This is my wool blanket, okay? It was given to me by Izzy bought before Izzy and I had a falling out, okay? This blanket, I have like 4 of them, okay? 2 are new in the package, okay? 2. By Arcturus. Thing kept me warm, okay? 1 blanket's all you need. But if you get cold, like in the basement here, you can double up and use something else. No, you're sitting there saying, Rita, what are you talking about? Well, give me a second, peeps, because you're going to love this. So, as a prepper, another tool to use. See? Put the wool blanket over you first, this over you, and this will keep you a lot more toasty. Look how warm that is. This is the true deal, people. And look at the price. $27. Chloe had that black. Now, let me tell you. You're sitting there thinking, way to go, Rita. Yes. Before I knew I didn't need a king-size blanket, I found out the king-size covers me nicely and moppy, warm, toasty. Now, one more thing to show you prepping-wise, and we'll talk about food and more tips on food, okay? That is, all right, that's the Utopia I was just talking about, right? Okay, are you ready for this? Okay. Now, remember I said there's a baby blue. They come in different colors. Let me just show you this. $29.99. You get different colors down here. Like there's dark green, there's teal blue, there's Mediterranean blue, and then there's washed blue. Now, you can choose your color, Mediterranean blue. What's that actually? I just want to look. It's too dark for my liking. Apparently, in my old age, I'm starting to like light colors. Yeah, like this, a little bright, like this, right? It's basically like a baby blue, okay? Now you can sit there and say, well, that's cool. So you double it up and put this over the other one. And I'm telling you, you don't need a double sleeping bag. I've done the experiment. Let me just tell you, I have a feeling nightmares come on more if you are, quote unquote, nightmares come on more if you have the room being too cold. Now, so think about it. So that is something I want to share with you all because, frankly, think about it from my point of view. Literally, you preppers out there, that thing has kept me toasty. I mean, literally, I was happy as hell to get it. So, but anyways, let's just get down to business, okay? So the Wi-Fi thing was in Chloe's room. She's not allowed to use YouTube on it, but I'm allowed to upload. So this morning, it's plugged in next to my other stuff and until we get a new router. But point is, for you guys, you've been asking, where am I? I'm here. Secondly is Higgins and I have to work on a FRS radio plan. Okay, now if the FRS radios don't work on the island, it's more likely not going to work where he is. He thinks, oh, well, it's DeWalt. It's a great brand, and it'll go 3 miles. It's got a fixed income antenna. See? You can break it, and then you'll find a little wire hanging in here, but that's about it. Otherwise, it don't work. That dog don't hunt. Okay? So one of his projects coming up this month is we're going to buy some extra radios. I don't know if I'm going to talk to Trish and see if she wants to test out radios from her place as a testing for prepping. The radio message might work. But what I might do is talk to Higgins about requirements for Trish. We might want something that actually doesn't eat batteries and not rechargeable and, something to do with AC data. Maybe you can find me a CB radio that needs plug, but it has an AC plug or something. Maybe we can find it in one. All right. So, but the bottom line is for you preppers out, we got radios to review soon. We have spam to review, other flavors of spam. I'm really looking forward to other flavors of spam, So Chloe's going by the store today. I got to make a list. Let's make the list. All right. So she didn't follow through. So we want canned goods. We want spam. All right. Yeah. We'll skip the milk today because the milk food bank will give us some more milk today. So we want cream cheese because cream cheese is on sale. I gotta check the thing, all right? Cream cheese. You can see this stuff is from the grocery stores already. So then we want beef, corn. Yep, corned beef. There. So, corned beef, cream cheese, and spam. You see? This should get us through for an entire week, spam included. Oh, and maybe a couple boxes of mac and cheese. So is there any boxed meals around here? Nope. let's see. Oh, yes. And dairy products will want some cheese. All right. So, you see, we got toilet paper, paper towel. So you get the dish. Oh, well, we're going to dish soap for a few days. Okay. So, Chloe leaves. The shopping list will be there. A lot of you guys have said to me, what's that? That's shopping list that sits on the fridge. It's part of the prepping tools, comes in handy for Chloe to remember what I want. Okay. Another thing I'm prepping for soon is we're getting things put together for a radio room. But, a lot of people have asked me about the food situation. Okay. Let me just give you a breakdown of the food. Okay. I'm not going to bullshit you, because that's not what I do. All right. Some people say, oh, you're a bad person. Yada, yada, yada. Well, things happen. Okay. Moderators come and moderators go. But I stand firm and hope. Now, this is something serious. Okay. Something serious. Goes like this, my friends. Comes to prepping. You got to ask yourself when you're prepping center, what will happen? You go to war as possible. Are you going to jeopardize your food supplies to not do like Mama Fanny's doing and not canning? If you're not canning and you're putting stuff together, then what happens, right? Evo, I just refilled it and this is what you do, you little poo slinging turd nugget. Then, if you're not going to worry about canning, okay, and you don't have the motivation to can. I mean, it takes a lot of time. You have to get a pressure cooker or a bird bath canner. You gotta get the jars. You gotta get the ingredients. It could be cheaper in the long run, but if you know what you're doing, it also depends on how much you're willing to spend. Now, one of my things was bread maker, right? Let me tell you why I didn't order the bread maker yet, okay? When the nuclear war happens, there's no point in making a bread. Right? Someone said, oh, go get a bread maker, right? There's no point in having a bread maker if you can't use it. Think about it. A lot of you guys out there, you sit there and you say, well, what do we do, Rita? What do we do? Simple. You don't worry about bread, okay? Bread's only good if you have bread on hand for peanut butter or peanut butter or something else. Jelly. Fortunately, as prepper, you got to ask yourself the big question, which is why, right? And that question is how come? Thing is, you got to look at the situation, all right? A lot of people here at school sit there and they tell you, oh, get your beans. Yeah, if you want to live off beans for the next month, go ahead, buy as many cans of beans as you want. I don't care. However, if you're like me and you want to talk about the realities of prepping, the reality is, but not limited to, oh, here we go. Hold on a sec. All right, so as a prepper, I was talking some prepping tool. Okay, so anyways, there you go. So let me just tell you a secret, okay? As a prepper, you guys got to ask yourself, about the foods, right? What are you prepping? Okay. If you're going to sit around, right, and you're prepping, and you're like, oh, yeah, I'm going to buy 20,000 bottles of water. Good for you. You got the water covered. But then you turn around and you find your ramen for $6 a case. You better have a cooking source to do it that won't have you die of, but limited to, carbon monoxide. So, for example, nuclear war happens, you have to have it vented. Now, if it's just regular weather and, snowstorms, like we have snowstorms, then what you do as a prepper is you just open the can and eat it just like that. I mean, look, I've experimented with soup cold. Plain and simple. Soup cold. Yeah. It's not bad. It's not great, but it ain't bad. So, it's not good, but it ain't bad. Yeah. So, when you guys sit around and you sit there and you say to me, well, what are you doing or what is their plan? Simple. There is no plan. You see, the problem is, you got to ask yourself what you're going to do. I, on the other hand, is you got to ask yourself, what are you going to be eating, right? So, for example, are you going to buy things that you might not be able to cook? Or are you going to buy things that you might be able to eat it straight out of the can? That's the point I'm making. You see, my point of where I'm going with this? What the hell? So apparently my Wi-Fi is starting to act up. So, but I'm trying my best. All right. And that's the wireless thing. Apparently there's a web browsing problem. Hopefully it can be fixed soon. So anyway, so when it comes to food, you got to ask yourself, what or why are you so apparently it has to do with the Wi-Fi. So, it's kind of cutting down. I ran a scan recently, so it was fine. But, I don't have any attachments, or whatever it is. So apparently my computer, is it overheating? No, it shouldn't be overheating. No, it's not overheating. So I don't know what it is. Just starts to slow down. It's probably the memory yet again. Higgins is always saying, oh, you need to do this and you need to do that. What I'd like to do is to make sure why my computer is acting up, It'll load up certain issues, Apparently there's a web browser problem, So thing is somehow I just don't know what the hell's going on with the with my wireless dongle device. Probably the memory's full, but I ain't gonna go open up anything, because it's just telling me, you can't open this, can't do that. So when you have that problem, you just gotta look at it from a point of view and say, well, what's wrong, I mean, it just limits you on what you want to do. And so, and then when the website starts to act up, there's a problem, So, like for example, this is trying to load a web browser and it won't. So, however, you could probably see if you can get it to work in Chrome. Oh, that reminds me, this is got to close out too. So, see if this works. See, if it doesn't work in Chrome, then you have a problem. So, all right. So, one of the tips I'm working on right here is, yeah. So, anyways, so we go here, whatever. I'm looking at this. I just want to see. Okay. So apparently, whatever it is, it's trying to download something or other. So hopefully we can I'm going to close out this. But it might be the memory, it might be the weather. We're using Wi-Fi, so it could be slowing down because of the 5G network. Apparently, sometimes there's crappy service, is what I understand. So, anyways, let's see how this works, okay? Because I'd like to get this done. But anyways, let's talk about food, okay? Because you guys are always telling me about the here we go. Let's see. Okay. Let's see what happens when I do this. Okay. So apparently I have to manually do this one at a time. So did they actually sell them or did the guy? Look at this for a second. It doesn't say what brand it is. Oh, yeah, it does. Okay, so as a scanner, oh, yeah, there it is, WA. So it's a Walmart special. So some of the radio scanners, if you get a WA and WS1010WA, those are they call the Walmart special. Now, a lot of you say, well, what's a Walmart special? The Walmart special is where you you buy the scanner, and then if it doesn't work, your code is not used. So, a lot of people are like, oh, these are good deals. Problem is you're saving $20 or $30 by going through eBay. But the problem is the Walmart special sometimes doesn't work because there's a special code you need to put in it. So Higgins and I was talking about that the other day. So if you see someone with WA on the name, you might want to turn around and run for the hills. So, that's the thing. If you see someone's like $70 for a WA model, you don't want to do it. You just want to pay the $80 at Walmart or at Amazon. I mean, you can go through Walmart if you trust Wally World. I wouldn't trust Walmart due to the fact that if you need a code, Now you can find some pretty good deals on scanners if you're buying used on eBay. It just depends on what you need. Like I keep trying to tell Higgins, you could actually buy something that's not too expensive and use it just for basic prepping, but he's set on his old man ways to find something to listen to, and he's also set in his ways to basically buck against the system, which is something I try to tell you guys not to do. For example, if you're going to buck against the system, then you, as a prepper, you're going to want to not be like Higgins, try to buck up against the system due to the fact that you preppers have to, but not limited to, that we can, when you buck up against the system, it's like, oh, well, I'm going to use my ham radio. If the thing is let me put it to this way, Kev. I've had arguments with Higgins over there. If there is a nuclear Armageddon, okay, I watched a movie on DVD last night, all right, let me tell you. There was these guys. They found out where the people were prepping and were holding food, right? Because they gave their position and their location. And two is these people were specifically working on CB, okay? Fortunately, in the nuclear radiation, we do not know how far radiation goes. We don't know if the radiation stops communications completely cold in its track. So you buy a radio, it might not work, for example. Secondly, let me just tell you another prepping tool that a lot of preppers don't know. Until Lord doesn't know. He's like, oh, yo, where to go, yo, whatever. You see, let me just go ahead with the organic food part first, okay? In a nuclear situation, unless you find organic canned food, you're not going to be able to. You're going to have to eat anything that's available. Plain and simple. Which means you don't complain. I need a moppy. Anyways, you never complain. But as a prepper, you got to ask yourself some other stuff. And that is, if you're going to prep, sorry about this, I'm just checking my thing. Hey, Mop, come here. Hold on one sec, people. Boy, aren't you going to take a bath? It's already 9:30. I want a club sandwich to be club sandwich, club pop sandwich. Okay, sorry about that. I had to remind Chloe the food bank's on today. She wants to get her food load. She's trying to be very frugal now. No, food bank is, food stamps aren't excited. Okay, so. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, prepping. For food, literally, you got to ask yourself, are you going to invest in organic food, or are you going to buy stuff that you can survive and eat? I personally choose the food that survives and eat, but I also look at, with the limitations of an apartment, you are limited to canned meals in a can, which means canned meats, canned stuff that's already prepped. All you do is open the can and eat it, like corned beef hash, sausage hash, corned beef, which reminds me, I was going to see if there's a can of corned beef today at the store. I want to try it, at least, as long as I'm not paying through the nose. Everything's expensive. I got sample things just to see. Might even put some canned corned beef into my mac and cheese. Now, while you're having your morning edition with me, I do want to say, that you got to ask yourself on food preppers, how much are you willing to prep? What are you willing to prep? Water and canned meats are the most important thing for a nuclear. Now, if you don't have a nuclear problem, and it's all weather-based, like right now, Higgins is, I think he said he's getting 12 inches of snow or something, then the weather would be on Higgins, So basically, you got hey, the snow should melt now. For Higgins, of course. Just joking around. So apparently it's supposed to rain tonight. So it'll change in the rain and snow tape around the rain and snow. It's nice that he gets more snow on the 10th. Oh, well, it's good though. And Zoe just being funny. Hopefully Zoe's well. I have no ill will towards her. She was angry and violent, cranky and mean, and whatever. That's her business. But I have no ill will. Apparently she's going to get snow over the next couple of days. That's good. Poppy, of course, we're about the same weather as Popo. Popo's and then my weather is currently 44. So we got 44, and Chloe's all hoping, I hope it warms up so we're in the 50s and 60s. Yeah, hope it warms up too. I want to get out more. Actually, my goal this year is to take walks a lot longer. Chloe's like, buy a couple new smoking pipes and go on walks. First, you got to get the pipe tobacco. Okay, jokingly aside, okay. You want to basically be as physically and mentally fit just in case this comes down the pipe, okay? Banking collapse, which reminds me, Higgins usually tells me he's been kind of lazy. What am I paying you for, Higgins? Yeah, I have to throw that in there, right? So the Dow Jones, I haven't checked out the 5-day thing. I haven't checked out anything. So, okay, so apparently it went up to 333. So let me just say, okay, so the 5-day forecast was, okay, so it went down. Oh, well, whatever. So it started at 32 and went up 1,800. See, that's the thing. People say 1,200, whatever. People are always complaining about that. So, but then they'll do something like, as a prepper, they'll raise the interest debt, and then it'll drop like 1,000 points, and then it'll have to stabilize itself over the next month or 6 weeks, and then they'll raise the interest rate, right? Now, a lot of you have asked me, how come inflation's so high? I got an answer for you too on that. It's only my personal opinion, so it's not false information or misleading information. So, for me, of course, my personal opinion is I think it's basically they're trying to win the White House again with Donald Trump. I could care less who's the president. However, I will say I don't like the current potato head in chief due to the fact that we're spending more money, billions of dollars for Ukraine when, if someone gave me $1 million in video games, I'd be happy for the rest of my life. I got goals I want to meet, and it would only cost probably close to $100,000. But guess what? 100,000 compared to billions of dollars going out to freaking Ukraine. I mean, literally, the numbers are just staggering. What are we getting out of it? Nothing, right? So it's my own personal opinion. But for you preppers out there that tune into my channel, a lot of you people, I was telling this to Higgins the other day, mini rant. You guys don't care. You think either you're going to live through a nuclear Armageddon or you want to die. If you want to die, it's because you don't want to basically be hungry and starving and rotting and dying and teeth falling out, hair falling out, and blood coming out of your eyes and ears and nose and mouth and radiation poisoning. And so you want to be vaporized right away or get it done quickly. But if you're not where the bomb is, then, you're going to have to suffer, which means, either that or you just give up, right? And I hope you don't give up, people. I don't support that. But the point being is the American people, there's a lot of people out there that believe the government will come in and take care of them. First of all, government ain't going to come in and take care of you. First of all, they're going to be in bunkers, hoping like hell they can ride the storm out. When the food runs out in their bunkers because they're eating like kings and they're not rationing, what happens? No offense, Tildor might laugh at this joke. The politicians might eat themselves. Yeah. They'll start eating each other because of, that Democrat over there looks really hungry. Okay, let's eat him. Jokingly, of course. What the truth is, All right. Truth the pudding is, and the truth nugget is, you can't have organic, and you got to live within your means. All right. That's why I'm doing reviews as much as possible. Now, a lot of people have messaged me saying, there's nothing going to happen. It's all in my head. Really. Well, so far we didn't give anyone fighter planes. They got old Russian fighter planes, but hell, then they say, Russia's going to be beat. Oh, really? That NATO is basically doing this. Mm-hmm. And let me just tell you, I don't believe in politics. Okay, I won't talk about politics on my channel, but I will say, having President Trump, God rest his happy heart, and bless him in general. I'm not a Trump fan. Even Mama Pee-wee knows this. But I will say, God wants to bless him. Thank God for him having the words to say, if I was president, I would pull out of Ukraine, no more funding. Yeah, well, it's not his decision. It's Congress. Now, if he became the president and we had a Democratic House and Senate, anyway, look at it, he'd veto everything for 4 years. So technically, it doesn't matter anyway amount. To hell it means. It might divert us from World War III, maybe, but then you have the other problem in the political spectrum where you got the Democrats don't want Donald Trump or Biden, but they want a new face. So they might choose Nikki Haley or DeSantis, which, again, it's too early to tell, okay? Now, I don't try to insult people. I don't sit there and say, oh, what are we going to do? No, I'm telling you, it's got to prep because, every day it's getting us closer and closer to possible Armageddon. Now, right now, you got these people saying, oh, they're going to walk us back or whatever. Let me just tell you, it's March, okay? We got till July, 3 months, April, May, June, July, 4 months, or April, May, June, July, August, September, 6 months, 4 to 6 months before we run out of money. What happens then? No one gets so scared. This is your prepping time right now, people. And I've said time and time again, try to cut your expenses down. Only buy the necessities. Now, certain items you need, like underwear and socks, that's a necessity, okay? Oven mitts. Someone said, oh, why do you need oven mitts? Tell you why. There's a hole in this. See? There's holes in this. See? My finger. Chloe burned herself. Oven mitts are being replaced. That's unnecessary. Remember when I said mandatory versus discretionary? Now, let me tell you a story about the radio situation, okay? Love Higgins dearly. We got some work to do on this month. He'll get paid next month, I think, for FRS, GMRS. We've done that already. But if you buy a GMRS radio, a lot of people might use them. But problem is, without a higher, larger antenna outside, you ain't going to get far. You can buy an antenna that's 4 or 5 feet for your CB. What if the CB is being monitored by raiders that want your food? Think about it. They could use a device. Some preppers buy it, and they can just track where you live and take your food. That's why you got to be very careful what you're using radio-wise. Mm-hmm. Now, there's people out there that, need to just get lots of water. But remember, every item you buy, you have to make sure you use it. For example, you buy mac and cheese. What if you can't eat it? You don't have the cooking space for it. That's why you look at canned soups that is tasty. Just eat it out of the can. Start testing out what your palate can do. When Chloe ate her potatoes, onions, and eggs, I went and ate 2 cans of chicken soup cold just to see if it tasted it. Tastes good if you just taste it, basically realize it's food. You have to have the mindset to say, oh, well, I'm going to try this. Just eat it out of the can. And when you're done, also it helps replenish some of your salt. The other thing you need to train yourself for is if you're on a well and your well water is fresh and it's not contaminated, then what you do is you can drink well water. That'll be your beverage choice. You don't want to make milk unless you need to use the milk for your coffee. Or you can start drinking it black. eventually you'll have to realize that without ventilation systems, you might get some carbon monoxide. So you want to duct tape, seal up your vents. The reason there's so much cold in this place and the heat can't be maintained is because there's a hood vent. And the hood vent's always, the wind's getting in there and it's always turning the hood vent, the grease vent, right up there. Yeah, you can look in there and you can see it going like a ceiling fan. So, and because of the weather, so technically, one of the things you need to think about is your food. Are you, I mean, and the other thing is people ask me all the time about the freezer thing. Okay, now if you have a freezer, nuclear power happens, power grid goes out, you lose everything in your freezer. I mean, think of my cousin Dinky, for example. Power goes out, Texas, she could be 3 weeks without power to a hurricane. Her freezer stuff is spoiled. So what you want is canned goods that won't spoil, plain and simple. Yeah. And also you want to look at cutting costs on your expenses. So, if your lanterns might run 300 hours on 4 AA batteries, then make sure you get enough batteries. Because once the candles go away, Higgins is like, oh, I got plenty of tea lights. Good for you. Now another thing I want to bring up to you, okay, we're talking about nuclear and banking collapse. Okay, banking collapse doesn't mean your power is going to go off. Okay, power grid can be maintained, but it means crap's hit the fan. People can't get their money. They got to live. They got to eat. That's one scenario I'm prepping you for. The other scenario is nuclear. And a full nuclear, let me tell you, okay, having ideas like a Jackery solar generator to charge your phone, it doesn't matter. Towers aren't going to be powered. You ain't going to be getting phone service. You're not going to be getting internet service. You're not going to be getting any service. You're not going to get EMS service. You're not going to get fire service. You're not going to get police service. You're not going to get anything. Secondly is your neighbors won't even be thinking if you gave a pack of radios for your neighbors, they might not even think about using the radio because they'll be in a panic. And if they do remember the radio in the kit, they might, if you put a kit together for them, you might want to make sure that they have enough food or whatever to get you by until you can get, because help ain't going to be there. Nuclear attack. Secondly is, I want to say this clearly because, Higgins doesn't realize this. Let me break down something for you, okay? When you use a service search for a radio, okay, scanner, for example, let me just give you an example, okay? All right, because this is something I want to teach you guys, right? So you go down here, right? And say I go and I invest in a 996 P2, right? That's one of the things I want to get, right? Next to my, I have a 536, it's right. And say I got a 355N, right? And then I have the 15X, right? Now, no power, that means your scanners aren't going to run unless you have a battery one, right? Now, before we go into, Rita, I want to share something with you too. Say I buy a 436, it's database, right? Now, let's just say for emergency prepping situation, I bought an AT125 and or a 3075 XLT. I'm choosing the right scanners for the job. Okay, here we go. For example, the 996 has a service bank, I believe. Which you have to find, but it's hidden. All right, so let's just do 355. So I buy the 355 in base station. Doesn't work. So you're not going to get air and marine. Marine band will not work. The marine band that works usually is automated for the marine band airport for the float planes. Police department, fire department, emergency, they'll be all holed up at home. They're not going to be answering. By the way, excuse me for 1 second. I want to make sure to turn make sure everything's good, and I'm turning the heater on to heat this place up yet again, okay? So that's what I'm saying. Now, the 355N won't work because it's a base station scanner, okay? But before we go into what is a base station versus a non-base station, I'll tell you. 15X does have a service search, okay? So service search is basically a program right? So it goes up to 1300 megahertz, right? And 12 service searches, okay? Public safety, news, ham radio, marine, railroad, air, CB radio, FRS, GMRS, racing, FM broadcast, military, air, and special internet means like military, okay? First of all, let's break this down, okay? Service search. Public safety, fire, EMS, and police. That ain't gonna work. Scratch that off your scanner. Next is your safety. Again, part of your public safety, right? Your news. What news is out there? Scratch that one. Ham radio operators, they might run if they have the generators to power the repeaters to power the ham radios. Otherwise, they're not going to be using ham unless they're using ham. And if they do, they're not going to be using power in the repeaters because they need to conserve their fuel. So marine, no one's going to be going on the water because they don't, unless they're escaping. And then they might keep radio silence. Yeah. Railroads aren't going to be running because, well, everyone's going to be hunkered down somewhere, right? Trains aren't going to run. Your air won't run because they're not going to be flying planes because, again, airports could be shut down, could be radioactive heavily. CB radio. Now, you can use CB radio, but someone might have a device to track it. So, same goes with FRS and GMRS. Most people are going to use that. And then GMRS, some of them are programmed to go further distance with repeaters. But again, how are you going to power the repeater? Racing's not going to be around. Your FM broadcasting things like your radio station, their AM won't work because they're not going to be, they're going to be mostly at home. The DJs that are at the station might stay there, but the DJ is only going to be running certain things. Military air might work, but barely. All right, that's military. And Civ Air ain't going to work, okay? So think of your scanner as a tool that may or may not work. So technically that's something, same with the 325P2 or the 996, the same thing. All those service searches ain't going to work. Your 30C, if you bought that, it might not work for the service, the scan search, which has the service banks, which has police, fire, EMS, ham, marine, railroad, civil air, CB radios, etc., etc., etc. Might not work. Same goes with the 75 and the 125. So you have your scanner. You might not be hearing any idle chatter. Ham radio, probably not unless someone wants to really waste a lot of fuel running the repeaters. Otherwise, it's going to be local. Higgins is like, oh, I'll just use it for my mom. Maybe. Okay. So all of this stuff I'm telling you about is literally limited to, but not limited to, what's going to work, right? Your phone ain't going to work. Your radios might not work. Now, say your radios work, your scanner works, but there's no chatter. It's because no one's going to be chattering because they're going to be hunkered down wondering what's going to happen until you actually have a scanner channel that works that's basically tuned into mil spec only. Like a lot of preppers are using the SDS 100 or the 436 due to the fact that you can actually program the codes into it to scan your area's codes for military and civilian things like Civ Air, Mil Air, military things like my 536 programmed for military bases around here. So if there's any movements, I'll know. But if they hit the bases, you ain't gonna hear anything. It's gonna be empty. So that's something you have to take into account when you're having a prepping situation for radio scanners. Now, same thing goes for your handheld radios. You're not gonna just sit there and be like, "Hey, I can tell you, oh, I'm fine, I'm going okay, can't get a hold of mom." You're not gonna be using it for that purpose. You might, we don't even know if radioactive material will cause radio waves not to work. I mean, we have no clue what's going on. Hello, Kane. National Adderall. Yes, there is a medication problem too. That's why you need to prep for every contingency possible, people. So when you're prepping, you need to prep like your life depends on it. Remember, your freezer foods aren't going to do any good because if the power's out, now think of a natural disaster. Okay, you have a snowstorm. People's got the freezers. Freezers will only last 2 days. And if you don't have a smoker, you lose all your meat. So you see where I'm going with this continuous issue with prepping, right? Then you have, but not limited to, your canned food. So you're limited on your canned foods that you need. Any canned foods that you're going to buy, you might want to get canned meats and canned soups that you just pop the can open and eat directly without having any problems to anything else. Remember, your main thing is for survival. It ain't about buying everything you need for prepping, because some stuff won't happen. Remember, one of the reasons you're prepping is mainly for inflation and the fact that let's break it down, okay? So let me just tell you a story, okay? Brother Higgins turns around and he was talking to me the other day is, why are we prepping? Because if there's a natural disaster, let's say a snowstorm hits, like we've had snowstorms, right? What happens to your food? People are prepping, okay? Remember how many times you have hurricanes, right? And you see the preppers running out before the hurricane, and they're buying everything to stockpile for at least 3 days, right? So one place says that someplace California won't have power restored for a week, right? That means you need to prep for 1 week at least for groceries. 1 week minimum. I would get a month just in case, certain areas, right? Now think of my family in Texas. Snowstorm hits them. Could be 3 weeks without power. Best course of action. If you're on well water, you can have an ice cooler and a chest. You can keep your meats cold that way, but you got to eat your freezer down. Otherwise, and if you don't have a cooking stove, now I know my family got trailers, so they could just go in there and use propane in the stove and cook their meals that way. And if they have a generator in the trailer, they're fine. But my point is without a trailer or without an emergency cook system, you're basically limited. So, think about that. Now, I wouldn't want to be cooking in a trailer during a snowstorm in Texas, sorry to say, and there's no power. Well, you have cooking in your trailer and you have heat in your trailer. That is good. You can stay in your trailer. But as an emergency precaution, you got to think about the problem is all prices have skyrocketed. Oh, yeah, exactly. And that's one reason why I'm going to be talking about the next problem, Mr. Kane. Again, welcome, or Miss Kane, whatever it is, Mr. or Mrs. I think you said you're from Idaho. How's Idaho doing, by the way, Kane? You see, when I did the basic prepping list, including the advanced prepping list, I didn't take into account that some of the items is not needed. Realizing as a prepper and sitting here and reflecting on no internet, remember I'm using a Wi-Fi hotspot right now for your internet enjoyment, that the problem is as a prepper, Connecticut. Okay, well, how's Connecticut? Yeah. So the problem as a prepper is that some of these items you don't really need, like radio scanners won't work. Now, Higgins, of course, wants a radio for his mom, but there's no power and you're using battery-powered radios. You got to look at the problem with the obstructions. Okay, this goes to 3/4 of a mile down a hill. Doesn't even get to the grocery store. So if I get a CB radio set up this month and we test it out and the first radio doesn't work to the grocery store, that's as far as I want to check. And the second one doesn't get to the grocery store, and the third one doesn't, and the fourth one doesn't, then it's your location and where you're at. Now, Higgins says, oh, well, I got flat land, but if you have houses all between 1 mile from your house and your mom's house, you might not get a signal anyways. So buying a CB or a MERS might not work. And an FRS might not work either. So think about it. So a lot of these items are just stuff that you think you need for, but not limited to. Now Higgins is like, oh, I need to get some new batteries and I need to get this. Batteries aren't the main thing you need to worry about. You need to worry about food, water, potassium iodide tablets, just in case. Now for other disasters, remember what I said, hurricanes, snowstorms, volcanoes, earthquakes. Earthquakes are unpredictable. Volcanoes, they say, oh, this might blow. People will go rush out to the store and stockpile, right? Just before, mostly it's hurricanes and snowstorms. People are rushing out and prepping. But tornadoes, fires, dry lightning storms, earthquakes, volcanoes, that's unpredictable. So you have to think about, but not limited to, what you're going to prep for on those aspects, right? So don't take those into account. Now, if you know your power grid's pretty crappy, you want to make sure you get canned goods. Now, I know my family jokingly said I don't think they'd eat Spam unless it's various flavors of Spam, and then they get tired of that. But they have a cooking apparatus and heating source in their trailer as a backup, so they're good for that part. But I wouldn't want to basically be in my trailer or cooking unless I'm heavily armed, because you don't know what's going to happen, So the thing is, and also you have to take into account is what supplies do you need for your home situation. It's not just, buy everything you think of, freeze it, and then find out your freezer's failed. No, you want to have canned meats, like corned beef, hams, spam equivalent, soups that you can just pop the can open, beans you can eat cold. Beans are already cooked, just make sure, you have beans. But my point is we are looking at prices rising. And as Mr. Kane said from Connecticut, prices are skyrocketing. They're not going down. I mean, I've looked at the pricing of the preppers list today. I talked about how ramen went from $6 to $16 or $17 a case. I've talked about police scanners. A lot of people aren't buying police scanners. So the items that aren't being purchased, they're going down in price. For example, some scanners, this one went up again, $15. This scanner and this scanner stayed down. This one went up $50. This scanner went down in price. This one went down in price. This stayed the same. This went down in price. This went down $30. This one down $15. This one went up $15. This one went up $3. This one went up $8. This one went down $3, and this one went down $2. So if you look at the price of scanners and electronics, they've gone down in price because people are worried. Now, let me just tell you a little secret about prepping, okay? One of the things we were talking about is food stamps, okay? Let me tell you a story, okay? I did an offline video. I'm not going to post, okay? I was on the phone last night, all right? Yesterday. I told Higgins this was the fucking stupidest thing in the world, I tell you, okay? Excuse my French. I have to renew my food stamps, okay? And I called at 8 o'clock. I was like, so I had to call back. 8:01. They open at 8. I get through. I push all the numbers, program it in. They say your wait time is 6 minutes. Oh, yeah, 6 minutes. You can't complain, right? Then they go through some stuff, 10 minutes, idle chatter about food stamps, go to the food banks, go to the food pantries, food stamps have been cut. Then they tell me the wait time from 6 minutes to 56 minutes. Because there's one person, it said, there's one person answering phone calls in the call center at the welfare office. Please call again later. Goodbye. There's too many people calling and complaining about the food stamps. We've got notices. They can't just sit there and complain, under the pandemic's over by Biden standards. So no more food stamps. Plus the fact that they only went to March. I told you guys this 6 months ago. They're going to extend it to March. Then you're done. The reason for it is because the government can't afford the food stamps. They took all that extra money. My personal opinion, it's not misinformation here. And what did they do with the money? They're taking the excess money that can go to the food stamp program, and they're literally feeding it to Ukraine. Yeah. So far, we've spent like what? $400 billion under for prepping. No, I mean, for prepping Ukraine for the war. We're giving them money, right? So we're giving them money, and at the same time, my fellow preppers, you're not seeing food stamps extended. So what's happening? People are now sitting there knowing the food stamps have been cut. Knowing the food stamps been cut, and now they're cutting costs. They're buying only what is needed. So they're not thinking about prepping. They're not thinking of prepping, buying potassium iodide tablets of food or whatever. The preppers like me, we're prepping. We're sitting there cutting corners. We're like looking at our planner and saying, oh, we can cut out eating out. We can buy them. And look, Chloe basically knows what discretionary spending is compared to mandatory spending. Mandatory spending was, but not limited to. Mandatory spending is stuff that Chloe needed. Chloe wants to stay warm. What did Chloe do? Chloe went and bought oven mitts, bought blankets. She's got 2 other items she needs to buy on Amazon this month. But you know what? That's considered mandatory spending. I got to buy underwear and socks. That's mandatory spending. Otherwise, we're basically cutting corners and basically buying only what is damn well needed. So technically, when you look at the mandatory spending compared to discretionary spending, you got to basically use discretionary spending on your preps to ask yourself, what are you going to be truly investing in? I mean, think of it. In a situation like we're coming down to it is food stamps have been cut. People are now looking at their finances and saying, well, we're going to need to limit prepping with food, and people are going to start buying generic brand deals or finding deals that are only worthy for them to buy. Like, you see generic cream cheese, 2 for $4. Do you eat cream cheese? You put it on a bagel? Do you skip it? Same goes, but not limited to, other issues in the working area as a prepper. For example, food. You got to look at the food stamps being cut. A lot of people are complaining about it. Thing is the government doesn't owe you food stamps. But at the same time, we're spending billions of dollars for Ukraine, which could go to food, but we're sending it off to Ukraine. So, that's the thing. The government's trying, and this is just my own opinion. It isn't misinformation that they're going to, So Higgins has emailed me something about FRS radios. Diggs AA batteries, it's a good idea, If it isn't, then, and it's got it fixed in 10 anyways. So, this thing take AA batteries. And this has 16 channels instead of 22. So, and yeah. Let me see. Do they? Lithium metal hydrate batteries. Okay. And it's $49. I wouldn't pay $49 for this, but then again, it claims they're waterproof. Okay, so let me see. So this has recharging batteries. Yeah, so Only want a radio that takes AA batteries because if something happens, you're not going to be able to charge it even outside due to the fact that there might be a situation. So, hold on a second. All right, so point being is Higgins is saying he was looking at those. I wouldn't recommend those. I wouldn't recommend the DeWalt's either. Oh yes, my roommate is here. She's wearing a mask. She's busy getting ready for her bath. She's going to the food bank today. I, of course, think after she gets in the tub and I'm done drinking enough coffee. Are you swinging by the store on your way home with the groceries, or just coming back out? Going back out. You see that? So there you go.
I got a heavy cooler of food from the food bank.
Yes, I got it. I get it. Thank you. I was just asking. You don't have to be mad. I just figured we can kill two birds with one stone. But if I'm napping anyway, look out, she's got two jobs anyways to do. The kitchen can be done in 30 minutes, finishing it. Kitchen table can be done in 10 minutes. Hall she can finish up. And then her room can be done, or the office, which she's getting paid. And
how was your sleep last night?
I slept about 5 hours. I took a nap. Cool. Cuddled with my dog too when I did it. A little moppy, little mop first.
He somehow got in my room.
Yeah, I opened the door this morning to wake you up at 8, like he asked me to.
He's curled up like that now.
Well, he's on the chair now. He's looking at me, Are you getting YouTube fun dinner tonight? You get takeout? I do takeout. I did takeout last night. I had for lunch. I was thinking of sending Chloe out for a club sandwich, maybe, or something at the deli. I don't know. I haven't decided yet what I want. Thought about sending Chloe to the store, Mr. Kane, to try some other flavors of Spam for my experiment to test out for you guys. Review some Spam. There's this turkey Spam that looks good. Turkey Spam, jalapeno Spam. I love bacon Spam. I should review that too. But anyways, I just love to review. I hear there's this Canino Spam, but I don't know anything about it, And the varieties of Spam. You got Spam and Spam Light, Spam less sodium. Hickory smoked was not tasty. The turkey Spam I'm curious about. Jalapeno Spam, spicy Spam, spicy or teriyaki Spam. And then there's the Tocino Spam. I have nonca clue about the Tocino Spam. So, but that's how it works, Yeah, I don't like frying Spam. I like putting Spam in my cutting it up fresh out of the can into my mac and cheese. Hash? Hash is simple. It's basically like corned beef and like potatoes and stuff in a can. Corned beef hash. There's sausage hash. Takeout isn't bad, but it isn't great either. You got to basically be frugal, and I'm trying to be frugal, make purchases that are worthwhile, that can stretch out the meals for the entire month, Sorry, Chloe doesn't like those trigger words. I'm not trying to trigger her today. I'm trying to be in a good mood. Don't tell me on video to F off. I'm trying to be polite.
I'm trying to get the tub filled. Not easy when a tub.
Here, let me show you what hash is. All right. For example, you got corned beef hash. You got sausage hash. Sausage hash. And then apparently there's something called roast beef hash. So there's like 3 types, Yeah, so, like, here we go. So, basically, I'll show you each one, Mr. Kane. Basically, in the can for a prepper, you got corned beef hash, okay? right here.
Grill with water.
Basically, I don't know what the hash is. It doesn't say what the hash is. It looks kind of like potatoes or something. I have no clue what it is. Doesn't say. Oh, okay, cured with salt. Oh yeah, potatoes. So it's basically chopped beef and chopped potatoes. So beef and potatoes put together. It's called a hash. So this is what it is. See. So it's like beef and potatoes. Now, the next one is right there, see, and then the next one right here is a sausage hash. It's the basic thing, same thing. The only difference is it is sausage and potatoes. So if you look at it, it says they have corned beef hash, roast beef hash, sausage beef hash, and something else, less sodium, and it's again made with potatoes. So it's pork and potatoes. Now, so every one of it. And then you have the roast beef hash, which is roast beef and hash. So, the hash is basically a potato base. So, if you read the issue here, same thing. See, it says roast beef hash. And if you look at the they say put egg on it and you can end up, but that one's like on a pita or something. Yeah, eggs ain't bad. It supplements your food, but it's well, that's what it is, and you get 12 cans for like $36, so it's like $2 a can or something, $3 a can. So it just depends on what you want to pay. Let me just close that out. So anyways, yeah, so it's like roast beef hash, $36 for 12 cans, sausage hash, $37, and $38 for corned beef hash. So like I said, depends on what you're interested in. Van lifers, yeah, you just have to make. Now, another thing is like I said, for prepping, you gotta also look at the fact that how are you gonna prep? What are you gonna prep? What are you gonna buy? How are you gonna buy? What are you gonna buy? And so excuse me for 1 second. Is he at it again?
Yep.
Yeah, Chloe does. Yeah, that's fine. Anyways, all right. So let me see about Sorry about that.
Hot, come through.
For some of you guys wondering why I left the hood vent on, the guy's bass upstairs is driving my ears bonkers. I reported it again, Chloe. Maybe the manager will say to do something. This reminds me, it looks like I'm going to need to get some more ear cleaners soon too.
Some what?
Some ear cleaners.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, your medicine's due, isn't it?
Yeah, I gotta get my, after my shower, I'll take it.
Neighbors are basically blasting their music, so I had to record it again by email. Manager never basically is in her damn office. It's like the manager, Mr. Kane, has let this place gone down the crapper. I mean, did you know the other day, right? Well, you got more water you're boiling again?
Just one more. That should actually make it hot enough. And if it's too hot, I can use that cold water to counteract it. This is how I make the temperature right for my bath. It's hard work, but hey, it's worth it.
Yeah, if you're Chloe. Me, I just use basically warm water anyway to look at it. I think the water tank's failing too. I think. Don't quote me, everyone. Chloe was bitching last night about how the oven wasn't heating properly. Yeah, the neighbor downstairs got a new stove, I think. They put in 2 new stoves, yet they can't put one in mine. They just keep replacing the coil. Last night, Chloe was complaining about how the preheating of the oven was like taking like 30 minutes to heat the 350. It's like what? They say, oh, well, if you just clean your oven, it wouldn't have that problem. Anyways, yeah, I don't like neighbors either. Well, Chloe does. I just basically fill it up with buckets anyways for myself through the tap hot water that's out of the bathroom sink, dump it into the soup pot, and then I fill it up. You know, the reason for it is Chloe's got to get this place clean before they come, which means we have to do some minor adjustments. So when the manager comes in, we don't get a notice for being dirty. That's, why Chloe's basically doing the thing, which is it's hard to do with the tub. They came in, they said they fixed the tub, said the tub broke again, and I'm not bothering with the management. It's like Mr. Kane, the story I was telling people the other day. Did you ever hear the story about yeah, you might like the story about the day I went out with my adopted sister advocate to a thrift store, right? Funny story. So I was doing a thrift store, right, run, and this advocate said to me, I would like to get you a bed, right? A new bed, right? So she goes out, and I said, before you buy a bed, let me measure it. So she goes and reserves and pays for it. Doesn't tell me. Right? So, like Wednesday, right? She emails me and she says, something about the bed will be there at 5. I already told her the night before I can't install the bed because my couch bed won't fold. I have a bed that's framed, right? Won't fold. Oh, I'll get some in there. Didn't work, right? Didn't work, right? Knocks on the door. I got a sign in my thing. He's sleeping. I have a sign that says, do not alert my dog. He's an alert dog. He lets me know if someone's at the door, packages, etc. They got it in their truck. king size bed, right? I said, let me measure before we bring it in, right? So Chloe goes out there. And by the way, I'm still kind of sick, Mr. Kane, but every day I grab one with I go through a box every 2 days, make sure I'm not positive, okay? If I get sick, right? Positive, always negative. She says, oh, you can come in and look at the bed, but you might get sick of the coronavirus. They didn't do it. They said, oh, we'll come back, right? So the lady emails me and says, well, if we don't get the bed delivered, we have to return it. Well, that's fine. Not my problem. You see, the problem is they didn't let me measure it, right? So let me tell you. First of all, you'd have to move my blue chair, which Moppy's sleeping on, 4 to 6 inches from the hall, which would leave me about 24 inches of walking space from the blue chair to the closet. King size bed is 60 by 76 inches, or no, 80 by 76 inches. So 80 inches long and 76 inches wide. Time you put the new king size bed where the couch is, which the couch won't fold up, you got 4 inches of clearance between the bed and my TV stand. Management already said fire hazard, right? Because it's bed's near the heater. So even if I pull it out further enough, like I did with the other bed, couch, which we had to slide, wasn't easy in bed mode, it won't fold up. Then, get this, they think removing a pillow top mattress off of the hide-to-bed couch, because the hide-to-bed couch has a mattress like this, right? So it's stacked up, so it's a little higher. Now they could just fold it up and take the couch out, right? But if they can't fold it, they want to take the hide-to-bed couch in bed mode, Mr. Kane, flip it sideways, right? Now the hall's got 38 inches of clearance from wall to the closet door, right? You take a hide-to-bed couch that's 80 inches, actually it's like 84 inches extended, flip it sideways, you got 2 inches of clearance from the back of the couch from the left side to the right side, standing upright, right? In bed mode, 2 inches of clearance to the ceiling. Then you got to angle it and hope like heck it goes diagonally through the freaking door. Can't be done. Literally, can you believe that? So they push and push and push. Well, my internet goes down using Wi-Fi hotspot. And what happened? So yesterday, I told her, oh, I'll get you some candies, no ifs, ands, and buts, but email is down. So I finally get to my email last night. She's like, oh, I'll have to return it. Not my problem. You see, I know a lot of people sit there and say, they wanted me to put it in my hall, right? You can't put the damn thing, right, in my hall, right? Because there's no room. With a box spring, a mattress, and a frame, it would basically block probably close to 28 inches of space, giving me 4 inches to squeeze through to the bathroom. And then they said, oh, we'll put it in Chloe's room. King-size bed, Mr. Kane, can't fit in Chloe's bedroom. It'd take up 90% of the whole freaking room. She'd have to move everything into my office, just put a king-size bed in there. Then she says, oh, we'll just remove everything out of your office or something and put it in there. So you're going to remove a treadmill, a trike, my desks, everything. Oh, you can donate them out. I ain't donating anything out. That's the thing. I won't give up my stuff because some other poor schmuck needs it. You can donate your lift chair out. I ain't donating my mom's lift chair out. Well, some elderly needs it. Not going to happen. So, no internet. All this crap happens. Guess what, Mr. Kane? It went bye-bye. Oh, yeah. King is, like I said, mine's a queen. Mine's queen pillow top. No. Fortunately, they, on the other hand. And for some of you wondering, moderator Pee-wee gave me this shirt that says, that's what I do. I drink coffee. I hate people, and I know things. Okay, so King is bad. Yeah, King is bad. But my point being is that, I told her, don't reserve it. Let me measure, right? That's full top mattress. Now I'm stuck with 3 sets of king size sheets and a king size comforter I can't use. Well, I'll find a king size comforter. I'm going to have to donate the king size sheets out. Why? Because I have no use for them. Now, my cousin Dinky's got a king size bed. I'll just ship them down to her and give them to her as a gift because, frankly, that's the problem, And they thought I was waiting for the blankets, but they were trying to deliver as fast as possible. And I finally said, look, can't be done. I mean, literally. And by the way, how do you fit a king size bed, right? 80 inches by 76 inches through a standard 36-inch door. You'd have to fold it up by 2 guys turning it into a sandwich just to slide it through the door. I mean, I remember me and Chloe barely getting a queen size in here. Yeah, and yet they're like, oh, well. So, to me, I had no skin off my nose, on that. But I thought I'd share that story with Mr. Kane. I mean, literally, it was too damn funny, that she, then, yesterday Chloe dropped off candies. And if she doesn't like that, well, she'll tell me in the next week, Monday or Tuesday, because of it. Because I delivered her the candies. I got more candies coming anyways for Chloe. But, the thing is, and I got more candy for her. But, thing is I know how to handle things. But my internet was down, so I couldn't answer any emails. So I got through it Friday night. And I was like, Yeah, I was like, oh, it's beer time. Which reminds me, I need to rinse my beer glass out. Because it's almost 11, it's almost beer time for me. Because, when I get done, I'll probably take a snooze after my beers. Trying to limit my coffee intake. But, my thing is I want to get Chloe to the store sometime today. Because I want to get the weekly groceries done. I want to get some mac and cheese and some Spam. And I want to try that... whatever it is Chloe was having last night, the barbecue pub classic thing, which didn't have any microwave. Chloe's like, they want us to buy a microwave. I ain't buying a microwave. To me, that's more money that I don't need to spend. Where am I going to put a microwave on top of this refrigerator? They'll complain, oh, you can't have a microwave up there. Well, where do you want me to put a microwave, sir? So I didn't even bother buying a microwave. Anyways, so basically, with the updates is, no internet. Higgins. Did he even email me yet? I should ask him about that because, I don't want to be here too long. Hey, what's up?
Just checking on this. Okay.
So I was watching this thing on YouTube the other day, or something. It was like a week ago or something. I don't remember what day it was. But anyways, it had a report of this woman finding a box of dogs. And she took it into the vet, right? Funny story. Turns out they weren't dogs, but she domesticated 3 jackals. She had like 5, but 2 died. So now she doesn't know what to do, but they like to cuddle. They like to play pranks. They like their mama. I thought it was really interesting. Someone actually adopted 3 jackals. I thought that was really cool, Leave the hood vent on.
Okay.
To the full loudness. Yeah, they do the guys. See, the noise blocks out the noise, Yeah, I hate neighbors too. I hate neighbors. Anyways. So, let me see. Did Higgins message me yet? I told him wakey. It was his alarm clock. Nope. So, Anyways. So, anywho, I don't know what's going on with him. But I think I might train over to a beer. Or 2. Or 3. Because, I don't get on here that much. Might do this weekly. Maybe do a weekly episode due to the fact that there's nothing moving right now. someone asked me the other day about my Anchor, and I was like, oh, what about Anchor? And they're like, did you check out your Anchor? And, my Spotify. And I'm like, well, this is, by the way, Mr. Kane, just to share with you that we have San Juan Island Prepper, which is me. We have our own Spotify account. So if you find me on my About Me page, you can find me doing episodes on my podcast. We have 29 episodes of Preppers Podcast, which I should do one today anyways for you all. A lot of people say they love the podcast. So if you have the chance, Tildor, if you're watching this, you can check out my podcast too, because, I can update it when I have new episodes. By the way, it's under the About Me page. I will post it in the live comments for you guys, which is really great due to the fact that the Spotify account in my About Me page is pretty cool due to the fact that it is, about my About Me page. So you go into About Me page and you go down to my links, okay? And we have a Rumble channel now, by the way, for the times where I have to check Rumble. We have Instagram. You can find me on Instagram. Find me on Twitter. You can find the donation page. If you find my content informational, you can always donate if you wish. We got the Preppers list and the Basics Preppers list, Twitter page, and then the Spotify channel. And I still got a website I'm working on. So here's the San Juan Island Preppers Rumble channel. If you guys are interested in Rumble, we have 3 followers. I need 25, or I got to pay $10 a month to do live Rumble. Hold on a sec. So let me just give that. And then the Spotify is there if you guys are interested in doing. That's our Rumble channel. And then, we have the San Juan Island Preppers podcast, which is right here. And you can sign up or log in. Our Spotify is right here. And I do podcasts, so I might do a podcast tonight with a cold beer in my hand, depending on issues. I think a couple podcasts would be good to discuss in general. Prepping episode 30, which would be about prepping list and what you truly need for prepping and nuclear or a banking collapse. Banking collapse, you can have anything you need for your preppers list, but nuclear war is going to be a little complicated due to the fact that some of the stuff you might not need to prep for because you might not have a use for, like a bread maker or a cook stove, so you might want to live off of anything out of a can, hold on a sec. This is not what I want you guys to do. The Spotify, let me see about the Spotify account, Preppers, because frankly, I do Spotify. I love Spotify. I like doing Spotify. So, that's the thing for you preppers out there. You might want to, check out my About Me page and then go to Spotify directly. There we go. Yeah, so apparently that's a prepper channel, I guess. All right, cool. So that's where we'll talk about other issues today if I get around to it. But I know you guys are happy to see me. But, Mr. Kane, are you still with us? So... Well, there we go. So, anyways, with everyone basically, running low. Might grab me my beer while we wait. When I have beer time with Rita now. Beer time with Rita. Yeah. Did I even, what was food? Oh, yeah, food stamps, prepping updates more. I guess that's why I chose it, because I don't have to put beer time or coffee time. I just did, updates and more. So, no, some of you out there, did I finish the part about the government and the food stamps? Because I don't think I did the whole food stamp information, because I don't remember the whole ordeal. I think I was going to say, with people now cutting corners, they're literally not buying everything that they want to buy. Back then, they were basically helping the stores out by buying more stuff that they can buy due to the fact they had extra food stamps. Now they don't have any extra food stamps, they're actually buying less. So you got to look at it from that point of view. They got to make sure they do whatever, and that's why, as a penny pinching miser, you got to look at every aspect of, what's going on in the world. So it seems, until Higgins messages me, I do need to talk to Higgins about some work today for this coming month's project. So if he'll let me call him as soon as I'm done having a beer or two. It's beer time. Is it cold? I wanted a cold one. Last night it was warm. Maybe I'll get a couple more of these today. Always like they have an English style porter. If I can fill another can in here. Oh, well. Why not try it just to see? I was hoping to get another. What do you guys think, huh? Isn't that nice? You guys are watching me crack a beer. I guess we got 3 people. Oh, no, 2 people. I guess they don't want to hear from me. All right, here we go. There we go, peeps. Cheers. It's a lot better than yesterday, I tell you. Yesterday it was what do you call it? Warm. Higgins emailed me. Yeah. There you go, you turd nugget. I'm gonna call him anyways, I think. Tell you what I'm gonna do. Yep. So Higgins is now back to his old grouchy self. I'll tell you what's going on. So he emails me and he says, look, I already spent some time this morning, everyone, telling you guys one of the reasons why you're freaking prepping is not because of the grocery store. Let me see. You can't get to the grocery store unless the grocery store is quote unquote still open. Now, as a prepper, you can't get your organic food. You're going to be stuck with processed foods. I was trying to tell this to Zoe many times, but then again, we had a falling out on the other issues. But as a woman, I can clearly tell you that some people don't think outside the box. Look at that. Still trying to figure out what the hell this is. I got a bug bite. Yeah, well, anyways, keep getting bit. Maybe it's a spider. Anyways, when it comes to the grocery store, Higgins has got to think. He's like, got to think outside the box, right? No, so no radio would be needed at the point for store runs, and the store would probably, well, let me just tell it this way, be closed. See, I already said this earlier. He's not even paying fucking attention. Yeah. We all know this about the chirp thing. Higgins is always talking about that freaking chirp thing. You know, the point is, you got to look at the point that Higgins literally doesn't realize that I'm basically knowing at things anyways. You see, let me put it to you this way over a beer, okay? Hey, look, Higgins, I got a beer. A radio scanner is not needed in a shit hit the fan situation because nothing will work. All right. Say a nuclear holocaust happens, okay? Your radios are useless. Say you do pack an area where you don't get an EMP burst, right? But your radio's not working because no one's talking. There's dead people everywhere. And if you do break radio silence, you're more likely going to track someone who's got a device that's going to say, this fucker's got food. You stay radio. Hey, he'll be, hey, Mom, how are you? Oh, yeah, I got food. How are you? Yeah, I got food. Next thing you know, what's happening to your old mom and Higgins? Their doors being kicked in for food. Think about it. Point is, the American people don't want to keep the radio silent. I mean, you think I'm going to sit there, oh, hello, Trish. Yes, I got food. How are you? No, I'm going to basically, Trish already knows. Radio silence is the best key. Thing is, tactically, they're in a problem. You see. Yeah. Hold on. I got to do something. All right, so I'm going to do something real quick. Since I only got one person watching anyway, so I don't give a poop. I'm waiting for Higgins so I can get done. Here we go. There we go. Yep, so we don't have but two people. There we go. There, so basically, any electronic device, phones, radios, scanners, DVD players, computers are all going to be freaking useless. Now, let me just tell you a story, okay? I'm going to wait for Higgins to see what he says. Okay, so basically, all electronic devices will be useless. Plain and simple. I wonder, do they have an Instagram account? Because if they do, I can actually message them and ask a question. Yeah. There we go. All right, so I want to search for, but not limited to. Follow? Okay. Yeah, I was looking at that. Okay, let's see. The Imperial Stout. Okay. There we go. All right, so I just messaged the local establishment on Instagram. So Instagram can be used for many tools. So, anyways, one of these days I need to sit down and do a review of the English Porter. I asked if the Imperial Stouts in cans. If not, well, I don't want to get a growler. I'll just buy it. Porters and stouts, yeah. Let me see. Cans. There you go. I'm gonna look at this. You got open soon. All right, so they got an outer IPA, Bull Kelp, Yachter's Delight, Black Boar, English Black Boar Porter. I think that's what I'm drinking right now. Pilsner Stinks. Yep. So, anyways. So I had Mr. Kane's not around, so I am gonna probably log off because I have to get a phone call in with Higgins and then do a podcast more likely. Podcast. So, anywho, with that said, everyone, you guys look for my newest podcast coming out today. Depends on if I'm tanked up on beer, might be entertaining, but remember what I said about the electronics. A lot of people are going to basically not thinking. And two is you need to literally sit back and enjoy life. You don't need to glue yourself to a computer and laptops and desktops and internet. You got to sit back and not assess the situation, but enjoy what you have and converse with God. And as a prepper, you need to think about focusing on reflection time. Yeah, reflection. So there you have it, peeps. All is well with you all, and plain and simple. Thanks for watching. In the meantime, I will check my comments once more before leaving, since we only have one person watching me, so that means it's my time to book it, so I can call Higgins. I'm talking about FRS radios. Anyways, I have some stuff to chat with him that includes, but not limited to, the radios. And I'm hoping you guys, who's not commenting, will watch this and realize it's long, but this is your only video I think I've given you for a week. Because, well, frankly, there's nothing going down the pipe in the news feed. So, with that said, stay tuned for my podcast coming up, if I can remember to do it today or do it Monday. Doesn't matter to me. I got some good thoughts, electronics, etc. I want to clear it with Higgins, even though I'm the boss. So, with that said, everyone, please add and subscribe. Please post comments, leave feedback, suggestion, hit the like, subscribe button. So it's fun for your family, including your dogs, cats, bunnies, service dogs, service bunnies. Bell notification, thumbs up button, subscribe button. Keep comments nice, all we ask. And school's out of session. I will make a podcast soon. Thank you. God bless you and everything you do.